sometimes did not use commercial flight. They always used a plane called the Buffalo. It's an army plane. In the old days, in fact, it was used in war. You would sit across against each other like this in a straight, bench like you see in the movies there, and then the other guy is sitting that side and you are sitting this side, and so they changed it, and then so it had fixed seats. And the co-pilot would stand, actually. The co-pilot, there are two guys, and then the third one would stand. He had no seat, really, in the plane. So it was difficult when we traveled with the plane. We went to Madagascar. The pilot says that once we go, from Lusaka, we'll refuel in Maputo, and then afterwards we have to go to Antananarivo in Madagascar. So when we were going, we were stopped. And then when we started to go fly over Mozambique and going into Madagascar, the pilot said that we'll be traveling over the Indian Ocean for about 4 hours. But if anything happens, the plane would float for about four hours or something. And so when we were just about to leave the land space of Mozambique, they announced that we should wear life jackets. So we can imagine you're in a plane with a life jacket, so everybody had to have a life jacket. And most of the guys couldn't swim like me, and so we're thinking, hey, if something happens, it's bad. We are gone, So that was about in December the previous year when we went with it in 1990.
Kalusha, an experience that's maybe just a little bit more emotional. We're lucky just to have you here because we know what happened in 1993. It's one of the great African sporting tragedies. You lost so many of your teammates, and it certainly didn't make up for it. But I think there was a real sense of poetic justice when in 2012, under your watch, the Zambian team was able to atone in a way for what had happened with that terrible crash.
Yeah, I think Zambian football will not be complete without mentioning the bwalya disaster. We in this time, like I said, in the 80s, we used to, in the 1890s, used to go. I was in Belgium first in 85, and then afterwards, of course, in PSV. And so the traveling was not like today. So I would, jump on a plane from Amsterdam, go to London, and London come to Lusaka to play the match if we're playing at home. But if we're playing away, it was easier for me to go direct to the country. And so when we played a match against Zimbabwe, we drew against Grobler and them. Then, then afterwards, the 1 week there was nothing. Then the team went to play in Mauritius. And then straight from Mauritius, we were starting the World Cup qualifier against Senegal. And so I was excused for this match because I went back to Europe, and then I was only going to go straight to Senegal. And so this is when we had the plane crash. I was in Amsterdam, got a call. Then afterwards, we had to rebuild the team. It was difficult. That we had the then president, Second Republican President, Chiluba said, he called me and he said, no, I think we have to go on, because everybody thought, I think we should stop, wait for 2-3 years and everything. And then FIFA gave us a dispensation. They said, no, we'll give you about 6 weeks in which to regroup and start with a new team altogether. And with credit to that old team, with the new team that started, to start was very, very difficult. But once we started, the team went to the final in 1 year. In the same year, the team went to the final in 1994 in Tunisia. We lost to Nigeria. And then we lost to Morocco for the World Cup. So did a lot. And in my opinion, in my mind, I always thought that we had to do something for the fallen heroes. We had to do something. So when the chance did come, in 2012 with Zambia, with Chris Katongo and Rainford and the boys, Isaac Chansa and Chris Katongo and everybody, it was unreal. We went to the final in Libreville, the stadium. It is about 7 kilometers from where the team died. So the day before we went there, and we just went to pay homage. And it's funny because there was no Zambian team that had visited the place. But I think there was a connection after that, because I think Zambia was a different team the next day when it played against